Hi everyone, it's Louise Pearson back with you for another of my videos in the series about when you're the one with a life-limiting illness. And this video I'm doing is about my journey with radiotherapy. And I'm doing that because when I was looking to start radiotherapy, I wanted someone with lived experience to tell me this is what it's like. And I could find very little of that. So I just decided to try and redress that balance or imbalance a little bit. So my journey with radiotherapy, well, it started a long time ago for me, back when I was a baby, because I had to have radiotherapy to my eyes as a result of cancer there when my eyes were removed. And so because it was successful then, I think I felt a bit more excited about radiotherapy than other treatments. I was excited by the possibility of it, and this was to my pancreas. Whereas my first lot was done in the Peter MacCallum Cancer Institute as a baby, this was at the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Centre. And the radio oncologists there and the staff were really fabulous about saying that they had some great new ways of doing things. And so my experience would be stereotactic or targeted radiotherapy. And it happened for me because after Whipple and a small amount of chemo, the cancer was back. So each session went for 45 minutes for me, rather than your sort of shorter 15-minute sessions, which would be happening every day for several weeks. I actually needed to have just 5 sessions, but the sessions were very long, and they involved breath holding. So there was I in my little beanbag thing, unable to move at all, waiting for the radiotherapy, and I would have to hold my breath for 20 seconds at a time, which doesn't sound difficult, but when you actually need to do it, it can feel like a long time. So it was quite uncomfortable. I was fearful of the side effects. There were lots of things that were a bit worrying about it, but you know, this is what we had to deal with to get to the radiotherapy. So what were my side effects? Well, the first night I felt exhausted when I'd been told that I really wouldn't notice much. I felt like I'd been hit by a tractor, and that was a bit scary because I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't sure whether this meant that it was going to always be like this, that sort of thing. I did have some gut symptoms which lasted for the first 3 months after radiotherapy, when I've been actually told they'd be worse at one particular week, but then they would be fading away and they would never be dreadful. What I found was that I'd often need to go to the toilet, and with no warning. I'd have some loose bowel motions, and I found that things like gourmet foods were a real problem. So eating out became difficult. I would go to a cafe, and you know, there's all sorts of things on cafe menus, from eggs with all different sauces and feta cheese and all different things, and probably what I was really wanting was something like a chicken sandwich. So I just wanted some plain food, no pastry. But what I did find was that I could live my life around them. Um, and, you know, they were nothing too awful. I had an increase in fatigue, which was quite remarkable at the time. But I did manage to go to work and do the things that I needed to do. And I experienced no pain during the process at all. Within a week of starting radiotherapy, contrary to also what I'd been told, which was that it would take weeks, my cancer pain was much reduced. So my pointers for during the process would be that you need to be sure you know what to expect on day one. Like with that exhaustion, if you know that it's coming, it's not so frightening. As I've already mentioned, I needed to breath hold because they were doing radiotherapy to my pancreas. And so it was important that I held my breath. Well, what I actually found myself doing was practicing on the days before, holding my breath for 20 seconds. And being a AFL supporter, I would actually sing in my mind the AFL theme song for Collingwood repeatedly to get through the 20 seconds. But it got me through it and took my mind off what I was doing. And I guess the most important thing is knowing what's going to happen tonight, knowing what to do if you have any emergency, having the phone numbers for your oncology team. There'll often be at the Austin, for example, there's a symptom review number that you can ring quite late at night. The Cancer Council has phone lines. The main thing is that um, you know, need to realize that you may still find it daunting on the day. So think about whether you have a friend available to come with you. They won't be able to come into radiotherapy, but they will be waiting for you on the other side. And I found that really reassuring, especially when my main support was an oncology nurse herself when she was working. Talk gently to yourself while it's happening because it can be scary and you may be emotional after the event. That's quite okay. It's to be expected. My pointers after a year would be that within 3 months I was feeling very normal. Make sure that you reach out to those who know if you're experiencing side effects. So consider your peak bodies like the Cancer Council. PanCare is a great source of support for people with pancreatic or upper gastrointestinal cancers. But they have both online and face-to-face phone support groups. Or phone support groups. So, anything is possible. Check out your possibilities. For me, one of the biggest sources of support was the Facebook groups because their answers are quite instantaneous and you come up with lots of ideas and people saying, yep, I've been there, it's all right. One of the big things that I found really helpful also was consulting a dietitian. My lovely Naomi has been fantastic at giving me ideas and being proactive about things, telling me when to sort of start taking which supplements and those sorts of things. One of the best things that she said to me was that when I was experiencing some loose bowel problems, I could dissolve a teaspoon of Metamucil in a couple of tablespoons of yogurt and have that for breakfast each morning. And it seemed to really sort out some of my worst symptoms. So that was fabulous. I think finding someone that specialises can be really important because they know about cancer, they know about what chemo and radio does to the body, and they can give you some good ideas. So it really is about knowledge being power and about you seeking support and accepting that you don't need to do this alone. Lots of people have done it before you and that you'll get through this. I'm hoping that you found this helpful. If you have, please press the like or the subscribe button to my channel, and I'll be back soon with more videos in this series of when you're the one with a life-limiting illness.